Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are here with Miss Laura Sterling. She is running for South Carolina House of Representatives. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Carrie?
Doing good. All right, well, let's just start out with simple. Why are you running for this office?
I'm running for this office because I think that we need to have regular people up in Columbia. I think that we have had too many politicians. Actually, I looked it up online. And what I found was a part-time citizen representative. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to represent citizens, myself included. But I think that's what we need up there. We have a little too much political, good old boy stuff going on in South Carolina. And there aren't enough women in the House. We're really good at cleaning house. So that's kind of what I'm going there for.
So you want to go in and give a voice for normal, average, for the lack of a better expression, people.
Yes.
Those of us that work and pay taxes. I know that taxes are a strong issue for you. So explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Somebody like you who works in the hairdressing, the industry, working with other people, and who works for herself, who is paying more taxes than other people who are not working for themselves. I want to go in and deal with the inequities in our tax system. It's not fairly created. It gives loopholes and things like that for some people and not for others. If you have the right accountant, you might get a better deal. There's a lot of things wrong in the system. It needs to be simpler. I found I broke a law and I didn't even know I broke it. So there are so many of them, and the rules just need to be flattened and made more fair. And
they're very complicated.
They are. There's two options out there for tax improvement or reform. They like to use the word reform a lot. The two ideas are, one is a flat tax and one is a fair tax. Flat tax is flattening the tax system, the tax codes, and taking out all those loopholes and simplifying the system so that anybody gets the same rate that anybody else would get. That's a flat tax. Fair tax is a consumption tax. Rather than having a tax on income, you have a tax on consumption like a sales tax. So what we're trying to do is force a real debate on that issue with numbers, with documentation, with actual history. One of the good things that we have going for us is we have an amazing amount of history to go back on and see what the effects of certain political decisions have been. So we have something to look at in making the changes, but we can't force the real debate. The politicians are halting that debate.
And that's where you would step in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us what makes you different. You know, what is your stance that makes you different from other candidates that would want to be?
Probably the biggest difference is that the two other gentlemen that are running for this seat are career politicians. This is what they do. One of them has been on county council for 12 years, and I appreciate certainly the service, but I don't know that you can bring new ideas. I don't know that you can do that when you've been buried in this system, which is very negative, for so long. So I see myself as a breath of fresh air. I see myself as a reality person and someone who lives it. I've experienced a lot of what happened in the last 4 years with the recession and all of the challenges that came with it.
Your personal experience has definitely been what has inspired you to turn this new direction.
Yes, yes. Because if I'm honest, I was not involved. I was politically ignorant before 2008. I knew a little bit, but not much. And I had built my business based on what I was following as the borrow and spend. It was borrow and invest.
Right.
In our case, we were investing in our businesses and in our properties. And what I learned was that that is not the best way to go. You want to do save and invest. And so I was doing it wrong. And that was based on what we were told as a country as how to grow.
And it started else.
Yeah. Borrow and spend. And that works until the economy turns down.
Right. And then it affects everybody.
Certainly.
It's definitely a domino effect.
Yeah, it creates a bubble, and then the bubble bursts, and then everyone suffers after it.
Right.
So, and sadly, that bubble that burst back in 07, 08, was created specifically by federal government decisions, which this is a state-level position. and we have plenty of state issues to deal with. So I'm going to focus my energies on state level.
Well, and now's a great time because, you know, Bluffton is growing so quickly.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm sure that people can appreciate that there's a local person, there's, you know, your mom, your
small
employer,
business owner.
your small business. I mean, you're everything that I really feel like Bluffton's all about. You know, that's why I love Bluffton.
I do too.
But you're really, I think you're a good representative, you know. So what, other than taxes, what is another issue that's important for you?
Probably the second issue I would say is government regulation, rules and regulations. We could be breaking laws and not even know it right now because the codes are incredibly complicated and difficult to understand, hard to navigate. You don't know you're breaking a law until you've done it, and then when they take you to court about it, they say, well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, I say, don't make the law so complicated that I can't understand it.
Oh, exactly. Well, I know you talk a lot about this on your Facebook page.
I do.
So we want everybody to look for you on Facebook.
Yes, Laura Sterling on Facebook. Okay. And I also have an Elect Laura Sterling on Facebook, which is facebook.com/candidate Laura Sterling. Okay. So you can find me either place. I'm
okay, and then what's
active.
Your website?
My website is, right now, it's just my business website. Okay. We've got one coming up. Okay. I've got a little team building of other dedicated ladies, actually. Okay. But right now, www.asterlingsolution.org is my business website. Okay. So you can find me there. I also, one other big thing that makes me very different from the other two candidates is I'm not technology savvy as far as using my new cell phone. My daughter is much better than I am. Kylie and Aaron use it all the time. What I am good at is communicating. And the team that I'm putting together is developing a way for me to communicate with you through Facebook and other social media outlets on a regular basis. And if you go to my Facebook wall, you will see I am very much in letting my citizens, my friends, my family, my neighbors know what's going on as it's going on, because that's one of the things that's been lacking in representation is the backroom deals and the good old boys and you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's what's got to change. So I'm going to have video blog. I'm going to also be doing photo pictures, things like that will be posted on my social media sites.
Well, that's very exciting. You have a lot of great new things coming up. So everybody look for Laura on Facebook, and thank you for watching Talk of the Town.
Thanks, Carrie.